Call to order the Show Planning and Zoning Commission regular meeting for Tuesday, February 8th, 2022. Call to order, the roll call shows that all commissioners are present and accounted for. We're going to do the invocation given by Commissioner Lewis, a pledge of allegiance by Vice Chair Barlow. Please rise and join if you would like.
Our Father in heaven, we're grateful to be here this evening. We're grateful for the opportunity we have to gather with organization and be able to discuss the concerns of the community. We're grateful for the freedoms that we enjoy in this great country. We're grateful for the prosperity that we have. We ask that would bless us to be able to have eyes to see and ears to hear, to have wisdom beyond our own, to be able to make decisions that would be prudent and appropriate. Grateful for all which thou does for us. Pray that thou will continue to bless our mountaintop home, that we will receive the moisture that we need, that will stay the fires this upcoming summer. And we love thee and are grateful for all which we have. And we say these things in the name of Jesus Christ.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good to see a lot of people here this evening. Nice to be involved. Our new business has one item. It's consideration of conditional use permit 602-04-243, submitted by Inspire Healthcare Capital to allow for a senior living facility on the property located at 1700 West Sierra Pines Trail, Shoal, Arizona, that being APN 309-38019. Mr. Gaskis. Not Mr. Gaskis. It's Ms. Fechtelquader.
Thank you, Chair and Commissioners. Inspired Healthcare Capital has submitted a conditional use permit, or CUP, to allow for a senior living facility at 1700 West Sierra Pines Trail, that being APN 309-38019. The applicant is proposing to build a senior living facility consisting of 5 buildings, including a 19,300 square foot assisted living facility with 24 units, a 19,300 square foot memory care facility with 26 units, and 3,372 square foot independent living cottages with 4 units each, for a total of 12 independent living units. The subject property is 6.72 acres and is currently zoned PUD, which is planned unit development, with C2, which is general commercial uses. The zoning was approved by City Council on October 21st, 1986, through Ordinance 257. This development was previously called Forest Gate, which includes the Circle K, Super 8 Hotel, White Mountain Commerce Center Office Complex, and what is now known as Hacienda Pines Subdivision. Senior living facilities require a CUP in the C2 zone. The Sierra Pines subdivision consists of 10 units with a total of 442 lots. The first unit was approved by City Council on December 19th of 1995, and the last unit was approved by City Council on February 4th, 2004. Sierra Pines Unit 2 subdivision is located along the east property line of the subject property and was approved on July 2nd, 1996 by City Council. Side setbacks for C2 zone property abutting residential zones is 15 feet. However, the applicant has decided to reflect the Sierra Pine setbacks of 40 feet along the east property line. The closest building is set back 14.26 feet from the property line. In addition, the applicant proposes to install a 6-foot solid fence along the property line and vegetative screening along the buildings and parking lot. A traffic statement has been submitted along with the application, which estimates that the development would create 124 additional daily trips. The maximum number of employees on a shift would be 5, and major shift change will take place between 6 a.m. and 4 p.m. It is estimated of these 124 additional trips, 90% would go west to the Deuce of Clubs, and 10% would go east along West Sierra Pines Trail. Data from the city's most recent traffic counts completed in 2020 shows that the adjusted daily trips at the intersection of West Deuce of Clubs and West Sierra Pines Trail was 1,596. West Sierra Pines Drive was 416, and the intersection of South Sierra Park Trail and South Central Avenue / East Wolford Road was 798. A copy of the submitted site plan, project narrative, and a traffic statement have been attached for your review. The subject property does not abut West Dusa Clubs, and the only access is on West Sierra Pines Trail. The current zoning of the surrounding properties includes to the north, south, and west PUD, to the east AR-43X, which is single-family residential, manufactured homes excluded, 43,000 square feet. The current land uses of the surrounding properties includes to the north, vacant PUD, which is commercial, to the south, the Elk Ridge Apartments, to the east, Sierra Pine Subdivision, and to the west, White Mountain Commerce Plaza and vacant PUD, which is commercial. Transmittal memos were sent to all affected agencies, and applicable comments received include Timber Mesa Fire and Medical District. The development shall meet all applicable fire code requirements. Staff has received multiple phone calls from residents at the Sierra Pines subdivision. Concerns about the proposed development include light pollution, the requirement of installing a fence or screening, whether the fence would need to be solid, setbacks, building design, drainage, increased traffic along West Sierra Pines Trail and Drive, including concerns of speeding and safety. In addition, a letter was received via email and has been included in the packet for review. After reviewing the zoning ordinance, standards for review, findings of fact, and discussions with the applicant, and because the request is consistent with the City of Show Low General Plan, staff recommends that the Planning and Zoning Commission approve Conditional Use Permit 602-04243, submitted by Inspired Healthcare Capital, to allow for a senior living facility located at 1700 West Sierra Pines Trail, that being APN 309-38019, subject to the following conditions. All development shall comply with all applicable federal, state, and local requirements, including building permit, sign requirements, and fire code. Development shall comply with Chapter 19.25.220, Visual Corridors and Aesthetics. A building permit with a tree preservation and revegetation plan shall be submitted and approved by city staff prior to the removal of any trees on the subject property. Building design shall comply with Chapter 19.70.120F and include mountain design architecture, such as exposed beams, wood beams, stone, split-face rock, and other complementary, naturally appearing materials. A landscaping plan shall be installed and maintained in compliance with Chapter 19.70.120G. A 6-foot solid fence shall be installed in compliance with Chapter 19.70120H. All development shall comply with Chapter 19.105, parking. All development shall comply with Chapter 19.110, outdoor light control. Light shall be fully shielded from adjacent properties and roadways. As indicated on the City Trails Master Plan, a sidewalk or trail should be included in the development of the property, and all development shall be in substantial conformance with the site plan. Today, the applicant has submitted a revised site plan, which has been provided to the commissioners, which eliminates the 4 independent living cottages and has been replaced by a second 24-unit assisted living facility. Instead of being set back 14.86 from the Sierra Pines Unit 2 property line, it will be set back 124.6 feet. In addition, the setback from Sierra Pines Trail will increase from 29.2 feet to 72 feet. Staff, as well as the applicant, are available for questions.
Okay, so,
Mr. Chair, before
yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. Mr. Chair, before we move, during the staff report, it appeared through the microphones that Ms. Vector-Cotter was saying the buildings were proposed to be set back 14 feet from the property line. To clarify, they're proposed under the original plan to be set back approximately 40, 42, 46 feet from the property line, not 14. So I just wanted to make that clear. It's a pretty substantial difference. In Sierra Pines, their setback is 40 feet from property lines. The originally submitted plan indicated that they would at least match that, go a little bit more. The plan that you have in front of you tonight shows that they would actually increase that to 124 feet, give or take, from the property line closest to Sierra Pines.
Wonder if we could show that so people could see if it's possible on the screens. Is there any questions for staff? Start with staff. Okay, any questions for the applicant? Okay, with that, I'm going to open up to public input. So if you have, I want to give you just a little bit of, I know that there's a lot of people probably have the same issue. So if you have a spokesperson, that's awesome. Have that person come forward. And we definitely want to hear your concerns. But I want to make sure we're not just repeating the same, having 10 people come up and repeat the same concern. So I want to make sure that if you have the same concern, we make sure that's noted. I'll do that in a way once if we have a spokesperson. I think we do. So let's start with who would like to come up first. Guess he got voluntold. So, sir, if you would please state your name and your address, and then
Douglas Frederick, 720 West Sierra Pines Drive. Our concern is not them building that. It's far enough away. It really doesn't affect us as far as the building. It's the additional traffic on Sierra Pines Drive. It's a pass-through street. Everyone uses it to avoid everything. We have multiple issues of speeding, getting ran off the road. It's been going on for years. It's been presented to you guys before. How much more traffic are we going to add to this? I walk every day. My wife and I walk every day 2.5 miles. A lot of people that live on that street, there's a lot of blind driveways. Ours is one of them. You pull out, you look, nothing's coming because there's a hill there. You pull out and the car's right on you. So our concern is the safety of the neighborhood and the well-being. There's people who won't even walk now because that road is dangerous. And so our concern about the facility is what can we do to eliminate the pass-through? Because we know it's going to happen, and then the apartments are going to expand, and it's just going to continue to just snowball. So our concern is what can you folks do to ensure us that we're not going to just end up with a freeway there, because we basically have it now. And that's the concern.
Okay.
All right.
Anything else?
No, sir. Just
Okay.
our safety and this tranquility of our neighborhood. We'd like to know that that's being taken into consideration. And tons of wildlife, which you guys all know. Okay?
Yep.
That's our concern.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Appreciate that. So if I get a show of hands of everyone that would echo that sentiment. Okay. So it would be the majority. Is there anyone with additional concerns that would like to speak to this? Yes, ma'am. If you would please just state your name
on TV
and your address. I'm sorry. It's a public hearing, so
I know.
unfortunately.
My name is Diane Pearson, and I live at 520 West Sierra Pines as well. And I face the same situation, the traffic. I don't want to repeat it or anything, but I just come up and I feel like we can't complain without having a little bit of solutions to the problem. I don't want to complain and continue to say, we need you to do this, we need to do that. My big concern is we need to redirect traffic to go to another place like Wolford Road. They don't use that nearly enough, and we need to have another option for them to use. We have Torreon cutting through. We have the Hacienda Pines. We have people coming from the apartments coming through, and our road we need another traffic study done. That's one thing that I would like to request that we have done. The last one was done in 2020. This city has exploded with population, and the houses are being built where I never dreamed that they would be built. And so it's going to increase, and it's coming off of Wolford, and the people can't get to Wolford except through our street, Sierra Pines Drive. One of the questions I would like to ask, and I don't know if it's up to in your control or not, we have, the church has ADOT, that main street light. They have that big swath of land right there. Can't we claim eminent domain for that street? That we can redirect that traffic over across that road, come off of Wolford, and bring it down to do a 60 to that street light that controls all of the traffic. I just think it's a solution. It's an idea. I don't know that we'd be able to do that, but it's a suggestion. I don't want to complain and not have a solution for everybody. So that's not my style. It might be an ADOT thing. We also have a road that comes cuts through Snow Creek. That's another road that goes up the off of Torion, takes across up further, and they say there are plans to come off of Snow Creek and go on that road. That's an option. Haven't heard anything about that as well. So that would cut off some of the traffic coming through Torion and the apartments. They would have another option to come off. I've heard it's a rumor. I don't know if it's true or not, but they would come out directly at Pizza Hut in that direction. I don't know if that's true. Have you guys heard anything like that?
So right now, it's just public input.
Yeah,
We
right.
can't
Yeah,
really have
I
a back
can't
and
really,
forth,
yeah.
but
Basically, I have, the fact that they're coming off of Sierra Park or Sierra Pines Trail instead of off of where the US 60, I thought we had to have 2 entrances and exits to be secure. The apartments have that, and that was required, I thought. We don't have that with this facility, and I just wonder why. Why can't we use US 60 as an entrance? I see a property for sale there already. That would be something I would like to see possibly that facility purchase as well. Give us the option off of US 60.
Thank you.
Okay, and I pretty
Any
much,
further? Okay.
I think I've got several notes, but I don't want to repeat myself. It's just suggestions. That's all. I have ideas, and that's what it is. So
Thank you very
hopefully
much
you will
for-
listen and take it under consideration.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? It's free. If you would please state your name and your address, sir.
Thank you, folks. Burry and Sandra Bell. We reside at 1410 South Alpine. We are adjacent to the proposed property. First of all, I'd like to commend Justin for his professionalism when we spoke on the phone. Thank you very much. A lot of our concerns have been addressed, but when we look out our back door and we see this fence that is proposed that's 6 foot high, it's a wooden fence. Is this like of architectural design, or is it kind of the Home Depot kind, or just kind of wondering what the aesthetics might be, because we will see it. And we know that everyone down that line of the street will see it as well. And we also understand that part of the intention is blocking the light. But it seems to me that there could be something more attractive considered. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? And if you would, please state your name and address.
Linda Nerich, 320 West Sierra Pines Drive. I'm N as in Nancy, E-H-R-I-C.
Thank you.
As there's nobody from the police department here or the fire department. Okay. As a retired police officer in a busy city, and I worked around a lot of assisted living homes. I just want to state that, are you saying you only have 5 employees for the entire thing? Is that what they said?
Can't really answer your questions, but I'll.
No, I mean, it was in that. Did they say only 5 employees?
As stated, I can't really answer your questions yet, but
Oh.
we will try to get to your.
I'm a little bit more concerned about silver alerts, people leaving. I'm more interested in people walking, which is normal for assisted living. They'll go out for walks, and with the traffic the way it's going to be, with ambulances going up and down our street, fire department going up and down our street, deliveries going up and down our street, I'm more afraid for their safety. Unless they have it locked down, which will they say they'll have it locked down, but people still get out. I don't know how. But I'm more concerned about having only 5 employees when you have a memory care place that requires a lot more than that. But that's all I wanted to, I'm just more concerned about that.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Is this with the?
this is the representative of
Okay.
the applicant.
Well, if you would just give me, I think you want to answer some of the questions. If you just give me a minute to make sure that if there's any
Okay,
more
go
from
ahead.
the public, I'd rather get them now and then allow you to. If you would please state your name and address, sir.
My name's Randall Cooper. I live at 1961 South Alpine Drive. So as well, I mean, I'll be kind of around the corner from the property. I want to know, like, I mean, my concern is what happens to our property value? I moved here 3 years ago, expecting to move to a small town, and it's a lot bigger than I thought. As they said, I drive to work every single morning. I drive through my community to work. People are out walking. I'm pretty careful. Usually there's no sidewalks. There's, a lot of people on the road for a small town. So I guess one of my main concerns is, how much traffic at nighttime. I'm also a doctor. These places are 24/7. I have kids, traffic, noise. All those things are my concern. So I just want to bring it up.
Thank you, sir. Anyone else? Sir? Well, no, actually behind you. He's right in line with you, I understand.
Line sight. I'll make it very brief. My name is Brad Baker. I live at 4672 Sweeping Vista Drive in Pine Top, but my wife and I have a lot in Sierra Pines, and we also own the property between the Sleep Inn and the commercial center, which abuts to the back of this. My one question is, do you or can you provide us a layout that you had on the screen as to where these buildings are?
A paper layout?
Yes.
I would like one as well.
PDF.
Okay, mission accomplished. Thank you. Now, 20 years ago, when I had my
When you
own
had your own, I remember you.
Okay, anyone else from the public that would like to come? Okay, sir, and please state your name and your affiliation with the project.
My name is John Lape. I'm the architect for the project. My address is 510 Southwest 3rd Avenue in Portland. We've been doing senior licensed care facilities in 11 Western states for about 4 years, so very experienced in this type of work. I'd like to thank staff for their work. It's been great to work with. We've met with planners, public works, fire department. It's been really, really very good. I apologize for the late switch in the site plan. Had a little hiccup there with that. In looking at the market study, owner decided that there's a higher demand for assisted living in the community than memory care. And it's about 90 unmet demand for assisted and 45 or so for memory care. So that's why we shifted. We now have 3 buildings. The result of that, though, is that there's a smaller footprint on the site, fewer parking spaces. We've been able to shift everything further away from the single family to the right, the east. It works better with the grades. That site is deceptively not steep, but there's 40 feet of drop across it. So it's a bit of a challenging site. Want to clarify that the dimension, the back building on this plan is actually closer to the east property than the one that's dimensioned there. The actual dimension from the single family is 115 feet. Still much better than the 46 on the initial plan. And we're now off Sierra Pines Trail. It was 20 feet, now 70. There's been some comments on traffic. The traffic report is 124 total average daily trips, with only 10% of those going east on Sierra Pines Trail, which is 12 in the whole day.
No, that's not right.
No. New, added.
No, that's not going to happen.
That's what the study says.
We had a traffic study
Okay.
committee.
Please,
Didn't work.
yeah, please, if you keep the.
There was a comment about the only single access, as was mentioned by staff. This only fronts Sierra Pines Trail. I have met with the fire department a couple times, and one access is fine. We've got a turn in there for them. Met with them again today for fire hydrant locations and things like that. The 5 employees is incorrect. That would be per building, max shift, so per building, so 15. So, there'll be more staff total, but that would be max shift, yes.
Do you have any questions for this gentleman? Okay, thank you, sir. And bring it back to the commission for discussion.
Mr. Chair, if
yes.
you'd like, I could address some of the questions that
Yeah.
were brought up.
That'd be good.
So during the public comment portion, there was a question regarding the Summit Trail extension. This is the roadway that would come out of Torreon and run into the Snow Creek subdivision, which is directly south of Sierra Pines. That is proposed. It's on our general plan. It's on our roadway master plans to connect over to White Mountain Road. Not quite at the Pizza Hut location. Actually, it would come out there at Fawn Brook is where that's proposed to extend. The property that it has to go through is part of a Forest Service exchange, which has been underway for approximately 15 years. It literally takes an act of Congress for those to go through. I think we're confident that at some point that will go through. What time frame? I wouldn't bet a Snickers bar on it at this point, based on previous experience. That road will be development driven, so as that property develops, it will be extended. So eventually, yes, there will be a road south of Sierra Pines that will connect from US 60 to White Mountain Road. There is no official timeline for that. The question was brought about an entrance from this project onto US 60. This property does not abut Highway 60. There are other privately owned properties in between. If they were to connect, they would have to get easements or things like that through those properties. They do have direct access on a city accepted street, public road. They do have direct access onto that. There was a question about the fence design. I would defer that question to the applicant. City code requires anytime you have a commercial project that abuts residentially zoned property, that a solid material fence be constructed between the two properties. That can consist of a wood fence. It can be a solid block. I mean, there's all sorts of different options, but it could be anywhere from just a standard wood solid type fence all the way up from there. Number of employees was addressed. I believe the applicant indicated that that was 15 employees per shift. I am not sure whether there's 2 shifts or 3 shifts per day. That could be clarified by the applicant. Question was brought up regarding property values. I'm not an appraiser. I'm not a realtor. However, this is commercially zoned property. It's commercially zoned property before Sierra Pines was in existence. From staff's perspective, we feel that this is probably as good a fit as you're going to get against an existing residential neighborhood when you have commercial property that directly abuts that. We feel that the applicant has respected the setbacks already in place in Sierra Pines. We've actually gone beyond that with this new plan of 115 feet. On this property, just as a permitted use, you could have a 45-foot tall hotel. You could have a daycare center. You could have a bowling alley. I mean, all of those would be permitted uses that would not require this meeting. From staff's perspective, and this is why we did a positive recommendation, is we feel that this is probably about as good a fit against a residential neighborhood with a commercial development as you're probably going to get. And then Mr. Baker asked for a site plan, and we took care of that. So with that, staff is available for questions, obviously. Mr. Chair, we'll turn the meeting back to you.
Okay, do you have a question or? Yes, Vice Chair Barlow.
I have a couple of questions. Mr. Tragassius, I mean, I feel like it's really feels good for the property that they're expanding the setback between the assisted living facility and Sierra Pines, but it also feels like there's quite a bit of space there that if there was, like, is there still an opportunity that they could put something else there? They could expand the assisted living facility, they could split the parcel, and something else could go in that space in between the assisted living and Sierra Pines. Is that a possibility?
So the condition number 9, as recommended by staff, would be all development shall be in substantial conformance with the submitted site plan. If they chose to come back later and add more buildings, that would require an amendment to this conditional use permit. Notice the property owners, all of that type of thing would have to go along with that.
Then one other question, if I may, on condition number 8 regarding the trails master plan. The site plan doesn't show anything as far as a trail or a sidewalk. Is that something that you would have the applicant add in to the site plan or before the final building plans are submitted?
Correct. So what you see in front of you this evening, this isn't a construction document. This is really kind of a conceptual plan. They would still need to submit construction documents, including civil engineering plans showing how they're dealing with things like drainage, how they're extending their utilities, that type of thing. The sidewalk or trail would have to be shown on that and approved as part of that package. I did speak with the architect today, who spoke earlier in the meeting, and we did discuss that. They did not have any opposition to extending that through this property.
And just to clarify, so it would just be from the extents of the property, so the
Correct.
700 feet or so. And according to the Trails Master Plan, is it the applicant's choice on sidewalk or trail?
So it could be either one. From a staff perspective, we would need to see what the city is willing to do on the other side to kind of line up and match up with it. So at this point, we kind of left it intentionally vague. But the intent is that as part of this development, they would have some type of a pedestrian walkway in front of this property.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hilgard.
A couple things. In the correspondence that was included, that resident suggested a signage for no left turn, right turn only. And I've seen that like over by Safeway, that one exit, you can't go left, you can only go right, or supposedly. But it's signed that way. That would encourage people then to go the other way. Is that something that's possible within this framework?
So it's possible. I would need to speak with our Public Works Director and also Emergency Services. I'd like to get their input, as to whether a right turn only, what the feasibility is at that location. Certainly it's possible, but if there's practical issues with that, I wouldn't want to force them to put it in if it would cause other problems for other entities.
But it's a consideration that could be made for in light of the significant concerns that there are. Then the trailway, would that just be the footprint of this site? Because expanding that trail could significantly reduce the pedestrian concerns, because I live in that neighborhood and have had some similar experiences.
Sure. So we cannot require them to do any really off-site improvements. So the trail or the sidewalk that they would be required to put in would be just the frontage of this property. As the property on the corner of Sierra Park or Sierra Pines, and the highway developed, they would be required to do the same thing. So you would have at least that portion in place. The city or Sierra Pines, we would certainly be interested in partnering with Sierra Pines HOA in building a sidewalk or a trail along that road to extend that and make it even more usable for more residents there.
And then along that line, are there trail grants that the city of Show Low and the HOA could pursue to construct the trail so that maintenance would be the consideration?
There's possibilities. I mean, we could certainly look into that.
But just as the community grows, in order to preserve the safety of pedestrians, but also respect the need for development. That's my 2 cents.
Any other questions? Commissioner Lewis? Adams.
He did
that to me.
So for staff, does this commission have any options either by request or recommendation to maybe help with some of the speed issues that have been brought up? Perhaps maybe like a speed bump or a crosswalk, anything along those lines? And that may not necessarily be something for the applicant, but is that something that we can put a request in somehow?
So certainly, the Planning and Zoning Commission could certainly put in a request to the police department, for increased patrols, that type of thing. We have had requests in the past for speed bumps, not just in Sierra Pines, but in other neighborhoods. Speed bumps and snow plows don't really mix.
Or fire trucks.
Yeah.
Fire trucks don't seem to like them.
So certainly understand. I know Sierra Pines, the neighborhood there, they've been very vocal for a very long time regarding traffic and speeding and that type of thing. We can certainly pass that on as a recommendation from the commission to, our police department and to other city departments that that request be made.
Thank you.
Any further questions? I could get the applicant come up just to answer two questions actually. One would be regarding the 15 people for staff. Is there a rotation of that? Is that the overall staff or is there?
That's max staff.
Okay.
And so there is a rotation. There was a comment earlier about 24/7 facilities. These are, but in different extents. The memory care building is certainly 24/7. The assisted is too, but much lower staff. So most of the staff in the middle of the night would be in the memory care building.
Okay. And you follow or have to follow certain guidelines?
It's a licensed facility, so yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
very much so.
So it'll be way above our.
Yeah. On the trail, we did speak about the trail, and we plan a wiggly trail.
For walking? Okay.
Yeah.
On the front side?
Yeah.
Okay. Anything on property for people there? Or?
There will be on property, but this is along the
Yeah,
trail.
no, but I'm just saying for the people that are there,
Yes.
they're talking that.
And then we'll connect that to this trail.
Okay. And then the fence. Obviously, you're looking at the fence too. So
Yes.
what kind of fence do you think you envision?
Well, it won't be a Home Depot fence, is what I was referring to.
Thank you.
One of the challenges of that property is place. So it won't be a concrete block fence either. So we have not designed it yet, but it'll be.
Okay, but that will be.
We'll take that into consideration. We were planning on that anyway. The only other thing is we don't have any plans for addition.
Yeah.
And it's not really laid out to do that.
Right.
That
Yes.
that extra green space that you have
Commissioner
there
Hatch.
on the east side, that 115 feet in where it abuts the Sierra Pines Trail, maybe is some of a compromise. You could make that accessible to Sierra Pines residents as well and your clients as somewhat of a green space, sanctuary area, picnic tables, that type of stuff. Because that's quite a bit of green space.
It is quite a bit, yeah. Yeah, it is.
Nice big pine trees in there.
It backs up to the memory care building.
I got that on.
Oh, sorry, we flipped it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
your assisted living on that.
Yeah.
East
Yeah,
side.
we
You
did a lot
flipped
of
it?
things lately.
So the memory care is over there on that
No, memory care is over by the
US 60 side.
office. Yeah. Right, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, just an
And
idea.
we will have trails coming out of the back of that building.
Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Bring it up to commission for discussion. I just like to say, of course, this is zoned as C2, so you would have something in there that would impact traffic regardless as being developed. Probably, if not exactly the same, more. You get the benefit of adding a place to walk. So those that were concerned about walking safety and things like that, you're going to benefit from this because of the fact that this is going to be added not on the one side, but the other side as well. And as development comes in, you'll get more developed areas. And then as far as property value, as we all grow, we increase property value. So any other discussion, or I'll entertain a motion?
Did you ask for a motion?
Yes, sir.
I move to approve CUP 602-04243, submitted by Inspired Healthcare Capital to allow for a senior living facility located at 1700 West Sierra Pines Trail, that being APN 309-38019, subject to staff recommendation.
Second.
So we have a motion by Commissioner Lewis, a second by Commissioner Rogers. Any discussion? So all in favor say
Mr. Chair,
yes.
if I could clarify, is
Sorry.
that based on the most recent site plan that was submitted?
Yes.
Okay.
I would also like to add it, pertaining to Commissioner Adams' recommendation, I would like to add a recommendation to make contact with at least the police department, additional patrols, just to address the concerns that were brought up tonight.
Okay, Commissioner Rogers, Roberts, sorry. Do you second that as well? Okay, thank you. Any discussion? Any other questions? So all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? It's unanimous.
Mr. Chair, there is a 7-day appeal period. If no appeal is received by the city clerk within the next 7 days, this conditional use permit will be considered effective.
Moving on to call to the public. It's for anyone that wants to speak on a matter that's not on the agenda. If I don't have anybody that, I'll just not do the boilerplate. We'll move to approval of minutes. So we have got approval. I'm going to do these all at the same time unless everybody objects. So we have approval of minutes for the regular meeting of December 14th, 2021, the study session of January 11th, 2022, and the study session of January 25th, 2022. Need a motion? So
Move to approve.
Motion by Adams,
Second.
second by Hilgard. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Seeing no opposed, pass. And we move to summary of current events from the commission members. We'll start with Commissioner Adams.
None at the time, thank you.
None. Okay. Commissioner Lewis.
Yeah, I'd just like to express appreciation. I've been around the school the last several days to our school teachers and administrators. They're doing great things in the Sholo Unified School District. I've been impressed by several staff members, so we live in a great community.
Awesome.
Nothing tonight.
Commissioner Roberts. Okay.
It's another great day in Shello.
Commissioner Hatch.
Nothing to add.
Commissioner Felker. Vice Chair.
I'll just add, just thanks to staff for getting all this put together for us and being able to answer the questions of the community and of the commission really well during these meetings. It really helped them go smoothly, and I appreciate it.
So I just want to call out the city staff, the agencies, the response the other morning to a horrific event that happened here was phenomenal. They responded with the highest level of professionalism. There was nobody injured. They did have some slips in the ice bath that they created, but nobody got hurt. So, and then the community response to that has been unbelievable. Time and time again, this community, be proud of where you live in Sholo because it responds the entire White Mountains. They respond well and support these businesses. And it was great to see, especially all Public Works coming out there and doing things. Director Tugaskis.
Just a couple things. First of all, yeah, thank you to everybody who assisted in any way with the fire that occurred last week. A number of businesses have been affected by that. A number of their employees obviously have been affected by that. We would encourage people to keep an eye on social media, different outlets such as that. I know the businesses are doing some outreaches and things to help keep their employees busy and employed. So I certainly encourage people to recognize that and to take part when they feel it's appropriate. Secondly, if you haven't had a chance, there are 4 home basketball games this week. For the first time in approximately 3 years, they're being held in our gym. Special thanks to Hatch Toyota becoming a sponsor for the Show Low High School gym. Would like to invite people to go to those games. The first one was yesterday. You missed it. You missed a good one. The second one is tonight, but there are 2 more scheduled for this week. So I encourage people to get out there and look at that new gym. They've done a really nice job on it. So with that, Mr. Chair, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Director Tagaskis. And with that, I'll adjourn this meeting.